on. Fine.
We live now. Hey guys, thanks for actually joining me today. I'm actually sitting here with an awesome power couple, Richard and actually Stephanie. And I'm gonna correct that name in a minute. I'm gonna put Stephanie's name in there. But anyway, I've been had the privilege of knowing these guys for right at 10 plus years, man. And we meet maybe like once a year at a Starbucks. I mean, Richard and Stephanie is like I said, a power couple. They exploding their business. They got a team all over the country in other parts of the world. And they're gonna share with you guys a little bit tonight what it takes to build a team, but as a married couple. So I'm gonna turn it over and I'm gonna let them share a little bit about themselves, a little bit about their background, what they was doing before they got involved in network marketing. So I'm gonna give it to you guys. Take over.
All right, Richard, go for it.
Right. Thank you very much, Troy, for giving us the privilege to actually share. It's truly an honor here. So both me and my wife, we are actually originally from Singapore. We came to this beautiful country in 1991 as a student, going to an engineering school in the University of Texas in Arlington. So I graduated in electrical engineering, and my wife graduated in
computer science and engineering.
All right. So both of us actually work in a great company. I work for a Fortune 500 semiconductor company, and Stephanie works for a Fortune 50 telecommunication company. So the question is this: why would two engineers change the course in our life? I mean, we were happy, we enjoy our life, we had a great job, and we get great pay. But the thing is this: I'm not sure about some of you guys. Stephanie was already a manager at the age of 29 in a Fortune 50 telecommunication company.
Yeah.
But the stress level that she go through is tremendous. And I was just looking for something for my wife to be able to work from home. And that was just a very simple wish that I asked for. And you know what, guys? The mind is just like a parachute. It has to be open for it to work. So my mind was very open in 1999. I was really looking for something. And then my colleague of mine, Dr. Shu Yang, who has a PhD in physics, one day he was telling me his wife has a business from home. So when he told me his wife has a business from home, I just jumped into the opportunity and I asked him, tell me more about this business. And then the first thing he told me was, Richard, this business can create a passive income that pays you for the rest of your life and willable to your next generation. The moment when he tells me that, I wasn't excited. I was like, no such thing. So that took me 7 times sitting down, hashing in number.
That's an engineer for you.
Yeah, I was hashing in number. I was like, no such thing. So every night I'm crunching number. And then finally on the 7th consecutive lunch, I told my senior partner, I say, that's it. I got it. And he said, you sure you don't have any more questions? I said, that's it. Right. So my goal is to have my wife stay at home. So
see, Troy always invests in a good husband that will take you where you need to. And the woman don't have to do anything. Right. Just let them find the road for you.
Right. It took a while because for me, Troy, I mean, I'm those worst person. I'm you can say the green color person because
analytical.
Right. Because I believe one thing. Engineers believe only one thing: numbers does not lie, right? So I was crunching number all the time. But we were very blessed because in 3.5 years, Stephanie was able to walk away from her job as a manager for a Fortune 50 company. And to me, that was the first goal that was achieved. And what is amazing, Troy, is this: in the year 2000, when my mind was very open, I quit my engineering job to start a traditional business in marble and granite fabrication in Dallas.
So we had the experience of both worlds, traditional as well as network marketing, all at the same time.
Which one did y'all like the best?
Well, in hindsight, if we were to look back, we probably would pick network marketing hands down.
Right. I mean, I stay on to run my traditional business for 9.5 years. I mean, Troy, the reason why I stay on is because I want to prove myself that yes, I can do it.
He just wanted to make sure that he can run the business. It was very successful. We sold it, so there were a lot of buyers. So we did a very good job in it. You know, so I have to hand it down to Richard. It's a male thing. Then you just have to do both.
Well, I, like I said, guys, I had the privilege of meeting both of you guys. I mean, you guys are awesome. I consider both of you like real good friends. I mean, I'm going to have the chance to actually sit down with you, learn stuff from you guys myself. I mean, you guys, like I said, y'all got a team across seas. Y'all got a team here. I know Richard is in and out of Singapore a lot. I don't think he's going that much now since what we're dealing with. But and I mean, even from that standpoint of the support of like Stephanie, like you know, because Richard, when he leaves, sometimes he leaves for like 90 days at a time, and then you might go later. And I think that's a big factor when people, you know, especially like a married couple, when they're trying to build something together, that can be kind of stressful. How do you deal with that, Stephanie?
Okay, you know what? I think first and foremost is we're good friends. As a couple, you have to have goals that you're working together in the same direction. I think the most challenging part when you don't grow together, and we're business partners, and we're always bouncing ideas off of each other. Communication is a big part. When we first started working, I think we thank our relationship to network marketing because it taught us how to communicate. Because being an engineer, we don't communicate very well. I still remember my first training on stage. I was correcting Richard in front of 200 people.
And we fight on the stage.
And it was so funny. It was, I think that it was an eye opener, and we learned from it. And you know, network marketing, they always have great training to train couples together. So we put our thinking caps together. The one thing that we both agree is that we want the income. We also both agree in the direction that we want to do. So one thing, definitely communication, knowing where you want to go as a couple together, agree to grow together. And the most important thing I think between both of us is the trust value, as well as knowing, see, ego cannot play a part in this. Very important. Both parties need to know how to communicate. So why I say ego, men or women, I'm not saying women don't have ego. Men has ego, women have ego. And sometimes we both are very hard-headed. So when you got to know what you're good at and admit as the other half what you're not good at, and try to complement each other. When you work that way, you find that you become a perfect pair in terms of business-wise. So we always kind of work different together in the same way, but also work differently on things that we don't need, where I think Richard has better strength than I do, and then where he feels that I have better strength than he does. And it took us a while to basically come together and admit that, and we finally work together without killing each other, firstly.
Right.
You know, so I think that part is important. Once you can get past that and learn how to know what you don't like, what part of the communication you don't, you will be able to focus on the goal. I think the first most important thing is we're very focused on our end goals. So we were willing to work together and develop and evolve each other and learn from each other. Today, I've learned skill set from him that I actually apply, and he's learned skill set from me that he's applied on his business. And several times we meet halfway on it. And I think that we're unique in one sense because we're both very hot-headed, hot-tempered, and you don't want to see us in a fight. So this is not a good idea.
I sit and I think about that, you know, because most of the people, and it took you guys a while to meet Lisa. And, you know, me and Lisa work real closely as a team. A lot of times she's in the background, but, you know, I got my strengths and she got her strengths. And that's something we struggled with in the beginning. We would bump heads like crazy. I remember Lisa presenting in front of a room, just about 100 people or so. And I was like in the background telling her, like, don't do this, don't say that. She turned up. So I've been there, Stephanie, so I understand. But what we learned through the process of like what, you know, she's good at and what I'm good at. And we just kind of play off each other's strengths. Right. And I totally agree when you talk about, like, to me, I think it's one of the best things for our marriage because we growing together and we got goals, just like you guys just talked about. We're gonna now, Richard. What talk to me, brother, about working with your lovely wife, Stephanie.
Lovely.
You know, Troy. It was a mentor of mine, Jim. Jim came over. Him and his wife Pam came over to stay at our house, and then we were going to the mall. And prior to that, in the morning, I was arguing with my wife in the morning, so they heard about it, right? So we were going, and then I parked the car. And then when I was parking the car, I was about to leave. So Jim pulled my hand and said, "Hey, let the girls go first. We just chill out in the car, right?"
Right.
And then as the two ladies was walking, Jim was telling me, he said, "What in the world are you trying to do?" He said, "You look at the two ladies. They are creating $1 million for us. They are giving us a lifestyle that we want to. Why in the world are you antagonizing the lady?" He said, "Just say this, learn something. Ma'am, whatever you say, you're absolutely correct. Move on."
Yes, ma'am. No, yes, ma'am. Is there anything else, dear?
You know what my saying is?
Dear.
Richard,
Most
basically,
important 7 words he's ever learned. Yes, dear. Is there anything else, dear?
yeah, I got that a long time ago too. They always right, Richard.
Yes, yes.
What can I say?
So Richard, so this like you and Stephanie. So I mean, like I said, man, you guys got a team all over. I mean, give us some tips on like, you know, when it comes to like creating what y'all have created. You know, being with a company 21 years, man. I mean, that's like that's big time right there, because most people can't find nothing to stick with that long. So what type of mindset would, you know, you guys say that, you know, was able to, you know, where y'all can got, you know, was able to do that, to stay with one company for that long?
Correct. I think first and foremost, truly understand the company that we embrace. Because for me, as an engineer, I really look at the whole entire thing and say, how did this whole passive income really works? And if it really works mathematically, it's just about us adjusting ourselves. So when I say adjusting ourselves, meaning there's a lot of time, it is not the company anymore. It's about us.
Yeah.
We have to be upgrading ourselves. We have to be the one understanding this whole entire industry and work with the industry. Over the time, we are progressing to the leadership roles. So as a leadership roles, as you know, your biggest asset is your people, but your worst asset is also your people. So you got to pick one, right? So
Right.
So I learned one thing. You know, in our industry, we always say duplications. I agree. Duplication is more in the training system that you may have, but it's the imprint that is important. Imprint meaning this: when the new folks is on board, what kind of mindset do you put into them? How do you qualify them so that their expectation and our expectation is met? A lot of time we are afraid to tell them the expectations, and then when they come on board, when the expectation is not met, their mindset is already wrong. It's very difficult to groom an organizations. Because what I believe is once we have a correct imprint, the system of duplication we have already put in place. And the most important thing is this: how do you know when your system work? Is when all your leaders sing the same song. And it's so scary, Troy. Sometimes when I sit down in an appointment and I look at the way they talk, it's like, man, that sounds like me.
Yeah, I know. I was just sitting down about 6 weeks ago. I was a brand new business owner, and I was sitting there just, you know, he just want me there. After the whole thing, I went, "You don't need me there. You sound like Richard." So basically, it's about doing simple tasks, duplicating it to the masses. And a lot of the time, we want to do difficult tasks, but only a group of people. That's not what network marketing is about. And when Richard talked about imprint, I see imprint as a stamp. You know, you come in, what kind of stamp you have, and just like raising your kids. If you raise your kids right, they grow up differently, right? So that print is so important. Then if that print is incorrect, they will duplicate the wrong print everywhere. But if you print, the imprint is right, then they will duplicate it exactly what you're told. And your leaders must, the first tier must absolutely have that right imprint. And then they sing the same way. They'll edify you. You'll edify you. Create a environment and a culture of people singing the same song. So even if you're like coming in brand new, you're kind of having doubt. But if everybody does the same thing, you're afraid to make the wrong move. You know, it's not acceptable here. So you create that environment where everybody do the same thing, and that's very important.
Well, you know, I got to hit back on that because, you know, you guys know Kai, I know Richard do, and you know, I've had some 6 and 7 figure money earners on these lives. And all of them said the same thing what Stephanie just said. You got to create the right culture. because that plays a key to actually building a successful team. I think a lot of people don't understand the part of creating a culture. Companies create cultures. It's companies that got cultures and got people not making no money, but they won't leave the company because of the culture, because of the feeling. Right. I always tell people join because of the money, but they stay because of the feeling. People want to feel that they are part of something, that they sewing into something. So that's powerful within itself, Stephanie. And I hope you guys that's listening and even listening to the replay, I hope you guys get that key factor what she talked about. One of the things, Imprint, Richard and Stephanie, how do you, because you got people coming from a employee mindset and you're trying to shift them to a business owner mindset. How do you do that? Because even myself, that's like a challenge sometimes. Dealing with people that's thinking like, man, I'm gonna get a check in 2 weeks, and what we do, we get checks off of results. So I'm playing with my dog in the back. He want to try to get in my lap. Sorry about that, guys.
It's actually try. What it is we have very systematic way of doing things, which is what we call the team culture. Team culture meaning this: what does your team do when the new folks come on board? What do they have to do within 48 hours to a week? And then what does your team does on a weekly basis? And then what do they do on a monthly basis? So we have the weekly basis to the team that every Monday, every Tuesday, we need to do certain things. That is the team culture that we put in place. When the new folks come on board, our goal is to set them to a result-producing activities very fast. Result-producing activities meaning this, as what it means. You want to give them result within the first month and no later than second month. If they can see some form of success in the first month, you got a good one there already, because they're not going to leave you very fast. But if you dilly-dally and you don't even know what to do onboarding the person, the next thing you just say, just find people, then you're creating the wrong imprint already, and they come on board.
For us.
Right, and then when they come on board, they don't see the result, which is, every one of us listen to this best radio station, right? WIIFM, right? What is it? What's in it for? Yeah. So if they don't see the money within 3 months, your system is wrong already, right? So we need to get paid.
Hold up, just right there, Richard, because a lot of people don't get that. When we get somebody involved, and I know you guys in a business, y'all sell all kinds of products and stuff, and y'all got amazing products, right? But as business owners, people get in business to make money. Yeah. And if we don't get them a check real fast, they're not going to stick around. Exactly. So I didn't mean to interrupt you, Richard, but I think a lot of people miss that, because that's something that I struggle with in the beginning of success like speed. So you got to move at a fast pace to create the result.
Right there. Success do like speed.
Yes, tremendous speed. Speed is important, right? Small success, big success within a short period of time, it actually contributes to a lot of great impact into the new person when they're on board. So for us, we have a team culture that we do, and as far as the team culture, every people have a very successful formula. But the worst thing to do, which we made a mistake in the past, is we keep changing our culture, meaning someone tells us, hey, this method is good. Now, that method is good because they have done so much of it already, to the extent they know the statistics, they know the pattern, they know every behavior of the people, but it may not necessarily fit into our culture. You know what I mean? So a lot of time people keep changing, and I want to put it as this way. If you have a coffee with a milk at the bottom, when you stir on the top, it's easier to stir on the top, but at the bottom, it's a vortex, right? So as a leaders, I would say this: understand where the culture you want to be, have the system put in place, and keep repeating it, and be very consistent with it. And the reason is this: once you're consistent with it, you can see a pattern form.
Yep.
And once the pattern form, people call it experience, then you know how to handle each of the behavior of the people.
Every system that is created by any senior mentor or your system within, it works because it works for multiple reasons. And when you have a culture, we are very boring. We do the same thing over and over again. Repeat, rinse, right? So we just keep doing it and get good at it. and what you want. And you're going to have a lot of trainers coming in, and you're going to listen to many different input. For us, I'll say this, we always go back to our culture. We train our leaders to do that. Just because somebody comes in and gives you some really exciting thing, it doesn't, you have to be very careful bringing it into your team, and have to discuss it and see how we want to integrate it. Proof your numbers before you come in, and that way you protect your culture well, and you know that it's not going to change. I want you to imagine this. Today, I'm going to think, what do you call flavor of the month? I'm going to do this. Tomorrow, I'm going to do this. And then the next week, I'm going to do this. You're never mastering anything. You're always starting from zero. And when you start doing that, it gets crazy because you're wondering why you're never going to get where you need to, right? So I think Richard's right on that one. We're very boring, nothing flashy. Do the same thing all the time, say the same thing all the time, to a point that you could fall asleep and you could still repeat what we say. So
I don't have it in here, but I had it up here a couple of days ago. It's a strip book I got a long time ago from a lady, Denny Johnson, right? And it's the same thing, man. Everybody says the same thing. The words are the same. It's just that most people think they got to do something magical to get the people to say yes. So take a look at it.
Right. Listen to your mentor. Listen to what your system, however your company has that system. Listen to it and do it over and over again. That it works. It's not you. Everybody else is making money. If you're not making money, you got to think why you're not making money, right?
Yeah, you're not following the system. So one of the things that I teach, Richard, is like, because people are mostly intimidated to reach out to their family and friends. When you guys agree, you and Stephanie? So I teach like little chunks, like how to bite an elephant. I might start out, especially like now with what we got going on where everybody's at home, to reach out to maybe 5 people a day. And then, kind of increase that to maybe 10. Now, I mean, I can't tell Richard to reach out to 5 people today. I mean, him and Stephanie probably reaching out to 50 or 60 people a day. I mean, because I know myself personally, I got challenged by one of my mentors not long ago because he asked me what was my goals for that week. And I told him I was going to reach out to 20 people a day. And he almost bit my head off. He was like, bro, you need to be reaching out to 50 people a day. So and ever since he challenged me, I pick my game up and I do reach out to 40 to 50 people a day. And I share it with my team too, because I want them to understand that I'm doing the work too. I'm not asking them to do anything that I'm not doing. And I think that plays a big key. Now, I know like Richard talked about like, y'all team is exploding and y'all do Zooms and stuff and y'all have leaders and stuff popping up and y'all don't even know the people. Now that's powerful within itself. Share a little of that. Share a little bit about that, guys.
It's actually COVID-19 has been a blessing for us.
Yeah, it has been.
Our sales, our own organization sales actually increased by 25%. And people was like, why is that so? It's actually COVID-19 has just forced 2 things into us. Number one, everything is now online.
Yeah.
It used to be I have to fly back to Singapore, Malaysia to be physically there to do the training for them, or I'll fly to Los Angeles, to Mississippi, to New York to do the trainings. But because of COVID-19, it forced everyone to go into the Zoom platform. So once you're in the Zoom platform, there's no longer boundary. So we can reach out folks across the cities, across the states, across international boundary. And the only thing that limited us is time frame.
Yeah.
Right. They're daytime, we're nighttime. So that's the only thing that limit us. But other than that, there's no boundary. And with that has opened out the scope tremendously to everything. And people are very receptive right now because they are very open to opportunities because they realize the traditional way is not the ultimate solution from now on.
Yep.
Right. And Troy, you touch on the warm market. For us, our strong proponent is this: when someone brand new come on board, they have to work on a warm market first. Why? Because the warm market is the easiest market for them to work on because of the trust factor they already have. I mean, they do not need to build relationship with their friends. The friends already know who they are. The only question is, how's the approach? if we go into a direct approach, hey Troy, I'm just opening a business will be good, man. We can combine force together. You're gonna be running away a lot of people. Instead, we go in a very gentle approach by saying, hey Troy, you know what? Could you help me to evaluate the business that I recently just expanded into Dallas, right? And then my goal is to have you see my business opportunity. Now, I always believe in one thing. You cannot say the wrong thing to the right people and the right thing to the wrong people, right? So you don't have to be perfect. If they're the right people, they're the right people. And then a lot of people they say, oh, the right people means the character of the person. Actually, no. The right people is all about their timing. Just like when my mentor shared with me that his wife has a business that work from home, nobody knows that I was looking for something. In fact, I was reading books. The old days, we go to Barnes and Nobles to read all those things. I was researching already. I was just hoping someone come to me and say, there is an opportunity. So when my mentor shared that with me, oh my God, I was just grabbing for it. So the thing is this, we don't wear a banner that says, I'm looking for something. We don't. So your warm market, they will not tell you that they're looking for something, but they research on the site. So for me, when the brand new people on board, my style, our preference is have them work on their warm market and ask for help. And then we are looking for people who is looking for something, whose timing is now. The question is, we do not know who, but we just want to share. But of course, Troy, after a while, the warm market will run dry,
Definitely.
right?
By the time your skill set's up, you use the warm market to build your skill set up. Yeah. So by the time you're ready for the cold market and you're very diligent about it. I want to touch on what you say about handling people that are working mindset and how we handle them when in our business, right? Okay. I think that because I was one of the working people, I was a very successful engineer, very arrogant also. If you met me at that time, you probably run away. But I think that I realized that most people, when you talk to them, you cannot get angry because they only know about what we call active income. You got to do the work to do something. And in network marketing, we're building passive income, right? We're building residual income. So we're building perpetual income. So what we are doing is a little different from what the rest of the 95% of the world that's known. Even if you own a business, you're still building active income unless you have multiple businesses and you don't have to show up to it, right? Or you own assets and stuff like that. So you kind of understand that. So we have to have them understand what type of income they're building and understand how long it takes to do it and what is it in the real world as compared to build that kind of residuality. Mm-hmm. $300 may be like, oh, I could do this. Okay, great. How many hours do you think you need to work at Walmart for $300? Then when you go to $300, okay, after 1 year, if you're still working at Walmart, you're still going to just get $300. However, network marketing, at the end of the year, it will not be $300. It could be $20,000. It could be $10,000. It could be $5,000, depending on how aggressive you are, right? So, and it grows residually, exponentially, and that concept may take time to get people to understand. But Richard and I like to qualify them up front, so we kind of get a feel of it to see if they understand. If they don't, and the timing is not right, we generally tell them, hey, you know what? Your timing is not right for this right now. I mean, we can talk later, maybe down the road or so. So how do we do this with our team? We get them to understand that. Once we get them to understand, we have a running system that do get people paid in 30 days to 90 days. So when they see the success, everybody's success is different. And everyone's success could be something as simple as $100. Some people is $1,500. You really don't know. So as long as it's not what I feel is successful, it's what they feel is successful. Some people, success is just standing in front of the room and talking. So it doesn't really matter. You just as a mentor guiding you, you need to know what their success and what they want, and then give them what they want. Now, Richard says, what's in it for me? I said, MMFI, make me feel important. That is the most important thing.
Oh, that is the most important thing, because everybody wants to feel important. I mean,
Yes.
they most definitely do. You know, and that's one of the things I try to work with when I get somebody new started on a team is to stick in the warm market. Because like you and Richard said, the warm market is the key. The warm market is where you're going to get the experience. We all know, you know, from, you know, doing this for a long period of time that eventually you will run out the warm market. But by then, you have leaders like you and Richard, Stephanie, that can teach them how to actually, you know, dive into the cold market through Facebook and all the things like that. Because, you know, when we first got started, I think when I first met you and Richard, I don't even think it was Facebook. Or maybe it was just I think maybe it was just getting started. And I was telling a guy last night that I met from New York, and I was on the phone with a guy from Canada today, but just because of LinkedIn and Facebook, right? I was telling them, to me, and I know it's the same to you guys because I see you guys on Facebook, it's like a coffee store. It's like a Starbucks.
Yeah.
You know, I get on Facebook. I don't get on there just to stroll and see what other people are doing. I'm getting on there to build relationships and try to expose them to what I have. You know, so, man, you guys do an amazing job. We're going to close this out. If it's a couple just getting started and they want to build a business together, what kind of advice would you give them from you two guys?
Write down their goals and make it a very big goals that they have common understanding and just work towards the goals.
Be clear. Be clear
where
with the direction that you're heading.
Yeah.
Together, not individually. Be clear where you're heading. Everything that comes after that don't matter because you can overcome that.
Correct.
But if you're moving in separate direction, then you got a problem right there.
Right. Because as a couple, sometimes the wife may not understand why the husband is doing it. The husband may not understand why the wife is doing it. But if you guys can write it down as a couple and say, you know what, this is our goals. If you have a negative spouse, just say, bless me in what I'm doing. But this is our goal. It's our goal. It's not my goal. It's not your goal. It's our goal.
And I got one more thing to add to that. Our goal, take ownership as a couple. Don't rely that Richard can go to a training and do it for me. Women always do that. Don't do that. You have to own up to your growth. When you don't do that and you say, my husband's going to do that for me, right? I just stay here and do this. You don't grow with him. You can't see eye to eye on where the wavelength is. Right. You have to own up to your own skill and what you need to develop yourself as well as himself. And then you grow together, not like, hey, Stephanie can do this with me. And Richard will say, I'll say, oh, it's okay. Richard does it. I don't need to go to this training. Troy's having a meeting tonight. Oh, no, Richard, I can take notes for it. No, own up to that. You have to be there and be in the same direction, in the same shoes to work, because if not, you can't communicate at the same level. Right. And in time to come, you're going to be like so disengaged. You're not going to see at the same level, and you're not going to grow. And it can affect you. It can affect both couples. Yeah.
Whoa, man! I want to thank both of you guys for actually getting on this live with me. I really appreciate you guys. I mean, really a whole lot. It's been a privilege to actually even know you guys because I learn a lot from you guys. Okay. I follow you guys on Facebook like crazy. And we usually get together like at least twice a year, but I don't know if we'll get together this year anymore because what's going on. Starbucks not even open. So, hey, you guys have an awesome night. And thank you guys, man. God bless.
Thank you, Troy, for the opportunity.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Say hi to
Hey, guys, one more thing. If you guys want to reach out to Stephanie or Richard, you can find them on Facebook. So if you're looking for a business, you know, you can always find me and search me. But Richard and Stephanie, if you reach out to them guys, they will answer you guys. So if you're looking for, you know, something, I don't know, maybe Richard and Stephanie personality line up with what you guys trying to do. I'm telling you guys, these guys are some awesome leaders, man. Reach out to them. And also, if you're looking to start a business, you can reach out to me. With that, Richard and Stephanie, you guys have a great night. God bless. And I thank both of you guys for getting on tonight.
Thank you
very much, Troy.